welcome to USTC360. I'm your host, Dilbar Shatterson, and there's the old adage that if you give a man a fish, you'll feed him for a day, but teach him how to fish, and you feed him for a lifetime. While the example isn't terribly Buddhist, luckily the principle works out well for all of us. That if we equip others with the tools they need to succeed, they can learn to be self-sufficient in different ways. Master Zhang Yan, the founder of the Tzu Chi Foundation, has been particularly concerned about self-sufficiency when it comes to morals. That it is every individual's responsibility to work hard to become a better human being, but that they especially need the encouragement and guidance of their whole community. This is where Tzu Chi's Education Foundation steps in. Just approaching their 20-year anniversary, they have set up numerous schools and programs across the U.S. since they've started, and their goal is to broaden the minds and spirits of young and young at heart. So let's see that in action at Tzu Chi's Academy in Southern California.
现在请小朋友到前面来坐下。好，来，把我们手手拿出来。我是周木槿老师。
My name is Ava Yuan. I teach preschool here at Tzu Chi Academy.
教幼儿班。妈妈早。来亲亲，来抱抱。
When we are teaching them to read, we will speak at different volume levels or pace to help them memorize better.
周老师要小朋友念的小声一点，在我的班。
Some children didn't know how to speak Chinese in the beginning, and after a semester, they can not only speak but also write in Chinese.
All the teachers in the school are experienced in teaching Chinese, but the Tzu Chi Academy is focused on teaching the children to be better people, so our curriculum has many humanistic cultural lessons.
哇，你看他们好朋友会做什么事哦？教慈济的人文课。
The Tzu Chi humanistic cultural lessons help guide the children to the right path. Seeing them being so sweet to their parents, that makes us feel very accomplished.
觉得很有成就感。谢谢你今天做的好。
The Tzu Chi Academy used to be a Tzu Chi youth group. Back in 1991, we had many volunteers who joined the training session. Because many of them didn't have a babysitter, they would bring the children along. However, children in the United States, under the influence of Western education, are more self-centered. So Master hopes the children can apply what they've learned in the humanistic cultural lessons back to their lives and give back to the community. Some volunteers started teaching the children these lessons. As the number of children increased, volunteers also increased. Finally, in 1994, we started the Tzu Chi Academy.
你看，有很多小朋友都会做一些家事，有没有人在家固定做家事？你做什么？折衣服，折衣服，全家的衣服是你负责折的。
I believe that the children come to the academy and are influenced by the humanistic cultural lessons we teach here, so they respect their parents and their teachers and love their peers.
好，还会什么呢？洗地。哦，还会洗地哦？真的吗？我有点怀疑哦。洗地很辛苦呢，连老师都不太会呢。
So the lessons will help them tremendously in being a better person later in life.
We also expect the children to do things themselves and to learn from doing. According to our curriculum, we take the children to visit nursing homes. And every time there is a disaster, the kids will bring their bamboo banks to school and say they want to donate to this person or to that country.
One of the things that I learned from the Tzu Chi Academy was 口说好话，手做好事，脚走好步. And I learned a lot from this because it taught me to always do the right thing no matter what and help others.
Among all the students that graduated from here, many of them stayed to volunteer. This is a successful example of the Academy's humanistic cultural lessons.
Right now I'm 17 years old and I graduated when I was 12, and I sort of mind waking up early on a Sunday morning when I could be sleeping in, but I've been always coming back to volunteer for the school because I felt like the Tzu Chi Academy gave me so much.
Seeing the children actively volunteering here at the school is the most rewarding feeling because it shows that our children are following in our steps.
What I gained from the Tzu Chi Academy was communication skills, and for instance, if other foreigners need help, I can be able to translate for them whenever I can.
A volunteer's work should be passed down through generations. Now we know that we have successfully passed it down. I hope they can do it better than us.
While young students on the West Coast are brushing up on their Mandarin, on the East Coast, parents are rolling up their sleeves to pitch in. In fact, the National Education Association says that students with involved parents are more likely to pass their classes, attend school regularly, have better social skills, show improved behavior, and adapt well to school. So surely parental involvement is key in helping children to not only succeed in school, but in helping them to become great adults. So how can parents get involved? Take a look at our next video where you'll meet a few parents who are willing to put in the elbow grease to make sure their kids do well at Tzuji's Long Island Academy.
I'm the team leader of the volunteer dads this year. I'm usually in charge of contacting the volunteers and making sure that we have enough team members available each Sunday to perform the volunteer dad duties. We are going to check out the gym now and see if anyone is exercising. We really encourage volunteer dads to work out when they get a chance to. Because today is only the second school day of this semester, many volunteers are not so familiar with their job duties yet. So basically, I'm working with them for the first few days.
This group of dads volunteer for the school while their children learn Chinese at the Tzuji Academy in New York's Oyster Bay. The executive director of Tzuji's Northeast region, George Cheng, used to be one of them when the school opened in 1998.
I have 3 children. Back then, when the Tzuji Academy in Long Island was first starting to recruit new students, I had just gotten to know Tzuji because I was sending my kids to the academy. I don't know how, but I was selected to be the team leader of the volunteer dads. When the semester starts, there are a lot of preparation work. We need to help the teachers with administrative work, such as photocopying class materials.
对啊，我基本上就是负责帮他们 copy， 然后老师有需要的话，我就帮他们订订这样，做得蛮高兴的，能够帮助别人也是一个很好的事情。哎，没有那个吧，没有那个。
能做什么就做什么，反正也是家庭主妇啊，什么都做，做得很开心啊。
这些还没有穿制服的，都是我们学校里面的爱心爸爸妈妈，他们很多年都在帮忙。如果没有他们的话，我们的福利社根本就不可能维持得下去。個個都嚟幫手，梗係要幫手啦，係咪？要做個好榜樣嘛！你睇，我今日帶咗2個新朋友啊，你睇下。
嗱，即係我哋第1年嗰陣時咧嚟到咧，其實乜都唔識嘅。跟住第2年開始就識得多啲朋友之後啦，咁咪俾佢哋會拉下你啊，做下呢樣，做下嗰樣咧，咁就覺得啊，做下嘢都幾好啊，唔好嘥時間咯，反正都係幫人啊嘛，咁好過喺出邊坐咯。
我都係感染，俾佢哋感染嘅，因為我都係坐喺出邊冇嘢做，所以入嚟幫下忙幾好啊，但有啲嘢貢獻下啊嘛。
Because they enjoyed helping out, many volunteer moms and dads devoted themselves to volunteering.
One day I was asked if I want to be trained to become a certified Faith Corps member and commissioner.
I finished intern training last year and I signed up for apprentice training this year because in the future I want to be an official Tzuji commissioner.
I'm heading to the classroom now because I am starting to teach this year.
I am
Chen Xinglan. My children have been studying Chinese at Tzuji Academy, so I have been helping out since then. I see Tzuji volunteers work so hard, and I had 3 children studying here at this school. I thought I should give back as well. In the beginning, I was helping out the teachers. I work as a physical therapist, but my first job was working at a preschool. I worked there for a month and was terrified by the children. I thought children were little devils, and I did not have the patience to teach them. Then, after I started volunteering here, I realized I learned and grew a lot from my experiences. After a period of time, I noticed my relationship with my daughter became more like friends. My oldest daughter, Ariel, graduated 10th grade from Tzuji Academy back in June of this year. And then she stayed and became a teacher's assistant at the school. Tzuji feels like home to me. Even though I'm alone here in the States, Tzuji feels like my home away from home. I know there's so much more that I can do to help. As long as Tzu Chi needs me and as long as I'm capable of helping, I will do it.
Through the parents you've met, it's obvious that their involvement not only helps the students, but has made a difference for them as well. The ideal and purpose of Tzu Chi's character education programs is just that. Even indirectly, everyone benefits. This is especially true for the Education Foundation's youngest pupils, preschoolers. In our next segment, you'll see how Tzu Chi developed its program with even the littlest tots in mind. Tzu Chi's Great Love Pre-K and Kindergarten opened September 2006 in Monrovia, California. It's Tzu Chi's first accredited school in the U.S.
A teacher in Tzu Chi preschool, we also teach character education. That's one thing our parents really like about us. Number one reason why they choose Tzu Chi preschool is character education.
Kill the word, make some corn.
How does Tzu Chi's emphasis on character education and the American education system differ? We study core values and develop our own character education program, following what Master teaches us, respecting teachers, showing gratitude, and expressing compassion. The program we have now is all from Master's teachings.
教育，那我们自己的品格教育讲的是上人所教导我们的事情。
Right now they're learning to identify each child's name. So, for example, they'll say, Mira, can you please pass me the milk? So they're not reaching across the table and items are being dropped.
Can you pass me apple, please? Thank you.
They're learning patience as well and respect of the food and of their peers who are sitting at the table with them. So they're able to share a meal and have a conversation with each other.
For example, the flower arrangement, and you'll be so surprised how well they can do the flower arrangement by themselves. And parents, by the end of the day, when they can pick out the child, they can't believe that's what their child did.
We gained a lot of experience after the first preschool opened in 2006. Then the second preschool opened in 2008 here in Dallas.
We celebrate our 6th anniversary, so this is our 7th year. We start with 6 kids. And now we have 26 kids, and we start with just 1 class, and now we have 3 classes. We have kids from non-Chinese speaking family, like American family, and we also have mixed family, like all different culture. The importance of learning a different language is they are able to connect to different possibilities. They get to communicate with more people and have more chances in their future.
With the experience we gained from running our first 2 preschools, we were able to open Tzu Chi's 3rd school in Walnut in November of 2013. We expect to officially open the 4th one here in Houston this October.
We're from Malaysia and Tzu Chi is pretty well known there. We saw it was here too and heard that they were opening a preschool, so we decided to enroll our kids.
In the Western way of teaching, there are disadvantages and advantages, and so she will have that going on from kindergarten onward, but I would like for her to have a good foundation from the Asian culture, and especially from the Chinese. And that way she has the best of both worlds.
We hope to create a foundation for all the children growing up here with Tzu Chi, for them to have the tools to fully develop their character. So in the future, we hope they can contribute what they learn here back to society.
Though Tzu Chi's youngest scholars are getting plenty of attention, how can students who are older put the lessons they've received into action? According to a study called Volunteering and Community Service in Adolescence, young adults who commit to volunteer work enjoy many benefits, like a sense of connection to their community, maintaining a better work ethic, and showing a greater concern for the welfare of others. And with this next group, there's plenty of enthusiasm to get them started. Take a look.
I like to do something variety in the weekends because this schoolwork is redundant and boring. So every weekend and every activity that Chisao has, I try very hard to go because it's fun and people are welcoming and it's really entertaining, so I try to go every single time.
I feel like they're really meaningful because I feel like I'm more connected to other people, and instead of staying at home every Sunday, I can help people and try to learn new things.
I stayed here for 3 years, and I used to be very quiet, but after 3 years, we learned how to talk to the elderly at the senior center and talk to the simple sugus. So I learned how to communicate with different people, and I also learned how to provide care, use sign language.
England Chisao started 2 years ago because there are too many youth participants in the Chishao's western region. So we separated them into 2 groups, England and East LA.
We must do our part. I see the Tzu volunteers working in disaster relief sites on .itv. It really touches me. These children should be able to help out on site too, regardless of their age. They want to have these experiences too.
Once I joined Chisao, I began to notice myself to be more thankful. And that's what I try to improve every day because before I don't think myself as a very happy person, and depression is barely on the edge of my problems, and I really don't like that. Once I joined Chisao, I began to notice first, Sigumen, they are very thankful, and they're, especially joining Sigu since I know her first. Her words are very, very kind, and she say thank you probably the most out of everyone, and that just helped me become more thankful and grateful of everything that's happening around me, and I think that's changed my life more than anything else.
We are from Beijing. We've been coming here for over 2 years now. My son is 16 now, but he was 14 when he joined and he was reluctant then. He started because he wanted some volunteer experience on his college application. So he used to say that he's just passing the time to gain the hours. When he first started going to the nursing homes, he was very passive. He would just sit there and try to kill time with his friends. Now, he interacts with the seniors actively. I go with him when I have time, and I will take pictures. You really see the difference. He does it from the bottom of his heart. You really see a change in his attitude.
The Sugus and Subos are like our guidance counselors. They show us a lot of love because they treat us like their sons and children. And because they do this, we get influence. So when we go to the senior centers or the homeless distributions, we also show love and care. It's like when we grow up from like middle school to high school, we follow their example, and so we naturally take up their personality.
We need to pass on the traditions, and if our next generation can follow our paths, that would make us very happy.
It goes both ways. The children see that the volunteers here love and care so much, so they want to give back too.
As Tzu includes young people in its educational goals, it also keeps in mind a more mature audience. In 2006, Tzu began to host a few classes that in 2010 later became part of their official continuing education center. Currently, there are 24 different courses available, ranging from topics like tea ceremony rituals to Tai Chi. And while many institutions will offer courses that can improve one's professional knowledge, whose benefits have been reported, what then are the benefits of more creative ones? A study in the PACE Journal of Lifelong Learning states that adult education instructors and learners should recognize that creativity is an essential component needed to foster flexibility, openness, and the ability to tolerate uncertainty, especially in a changing social world. So who says you can't learn something and have fun at the same time? Have a peek.
来，1、2、3，走！
Every week when it's time for the music lessons, I get really excited. I have a lot of errands and other things going on at home. It can get depressing at times, but this class has been making me very, very happy.
Tzu Chi's continuing education here offers not only music class, but also gardening class, water and electricity maintenance, and homemade soap workshops. Our hope is to reduce pollution through something as simple as making homemade soaps. Of course, we try to integrate 近似 efforts into our classes. By combining our beautiful creation and master's beautiful words, we provide comfort to our students' soul. The ceramic painting class makes a lot of beautiful creations. Each year, they donate a great amount of their work to our exhibit. They're willing to donate their best work for sale, and then we donate the profits for disaster relief in the Philippines, for example, and for Hurricane Sandy.
I really appreciate Tzu Chi for giving us this platform, so we all have the opportunity to learn. Anyone who wants to can come here.
I have been coming to this class since the second school term. It's been almost 3 years now. I thought I'm old and my voice is not going to change, but that's not true. Through the voice training, I can now sing the higher notes I couldn't possibly reach before.
Now I know how to appreciate music and singing. I've gained so much musical knowledge.
Opera is a very abstract thing. For example, things like resonance, where you're supposed to make the sounds, you're breathing, you can't see or touch these things. So I have to find a way to explain them in the most simple language so I can slowly guide them to sing.
The teacher chooses a great variety of songs. She puts a lot of thought into her song selections. We sing songs that we are familiar with, songs that are easier to sing, and songs we like. For example, we sing Hua Fei Hua and the Farewell Song. These are songs we used to sing in elementary school. So it's not only familiar, but also interesting to us. And after she's taught us the proper way of singing, we sing better and feel accomplished.
I think teaching and learning go hand in hand. You can't have one without the other. One of Master Jinx's aphorisms said, "To a beautiful heart, everything appears beautiful." I think they are all beautiful. They all have something I can learn from.
Here at Tzu Chi, there's something for everyone to learn. But theirs isn't strictly an Eastern approach. According to American philosopher John Locke, the goal of education is not to create a scholar, but to create a virtuous man. Master Zheng Yin would surely agree, though she'd certainly include women in there too. Thanks for joining me in celebrating 20 years of Tzu Chi's work in education. I'm Dilbar Shatterson, and I'll see you soon.